welcome, Pat Darling. Welcome to the space at Port Jefferson. It's so good to see you. Do you know the last time that we did an interview? It was 2 years ago.
That long ago?
I think it was to the month 2 years ago. And we were at Locals Cafe, right? Right
Yes.
here in Port Jefferson. And just a small wee bit about my story is that I used to come in. Jaten is a good friend of mine at Locals, and I used to come in there at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours set up, and those days are over. So here you are at the space, so that you just come in at your leisure. Kevin does all the hard work beforehand, and you sit down. And happy Thanksgiving, Pat. Good to have you again. You look great.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Now, you come in here and you're in a very cool and calm mood, even though you worked all day in that workshop, at Santa's workshop. Tell us about that.
Santa's Workshop. It's the farewell. It's the last year. It's been a pleasure to do it. I did it in total 7 years, 5 in the building that it's in presently, which is about to be a historical museum. It'll be called the Row House. It's been a privilege. It's an honor. Anything you contribute to a village, as intimate and wonderful as this village is, it's a wonderful memory to take with you.
So I've seen online that this is on a reservation system, which is probably pretty smart because there's been long lines and sometimes inclement weather.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can avoid that, but
Yeah.
it seems like a better system. A lot of demand,
Yeah.
you know. So is there anything different this year? Any surprises?
Not so many surprises for me. We've had a beautiful time having Santa visit. It's kind of sad because of the reason the purpose of why I started Santa's Workshop was to keep that storybook charm of Christmases past alive and to hope that children have an opportunity to share some of that before they grow up. So it's a lot of nostalgia with closing it down this year. And I'm doing some elaborate confection, working on my carousel, which is my pride and joy in there.
And I think not to interrupt you. I think people should understand what your profession was, right? It was. You're not.
Well, I was in
full-time doing it.
marketing. I had a marketing company, and there was a personal reason why I stepped out, and it was about my daughter. And when that was resolved, I started to get involved with confection art. It was something I always wanted to dabble in. Originally, I was supposed to go to FIT and never made it in the door and ended up in business. But it went full circle, and I got involved with creative confection art. I've been in a lot of publications, done a lot of replicas of buildings and whatever.
So a typical shoot would be someone needs to, a magazine needs to show for the holiday seasons, or maybe it wasn't the holiday season, maybe it was every type of season. And then your confection art, which is food art, right?
Yeah, it's confection art. It's primarily
Dessert.
royal icing. It's not anything edible. I was never involved with the market of selling or marketing desserts. I did replicas of buildings and creative things. I can do a lot of imaging. One of my passions was the Gamecock Cottage over in Stony Brook, and I replicated that in confection art. I have it in a publication, and I brought a page of that with me today to show you the actual building and the replication in confection art.
And what do we have here?
That is one of the many nutcrackers that are presently going to be exhibited this year in the workshop, along with a very elaborate carousel. It's all, again, confection art. No gingerbread involved. It's foam core underneath, so it maintains and can be held from year to year if I want to use it for another photo shoot of some sort.
Okay.
So, and
Yeah, that's beautiful. I can't even tell you. Fantastic. You know what's nice about what you're doing with so much electronic media today for kids?
yeah,
I'm sure you've thought about this, that they can get into, all this talk about the metaverse coming
Yeah.
and all this. But people walk in and they experience something that maybe they would have experienced many years ago.
yeah.
Right, parents' childhoods, grandparents' childhood.
hmm
I know my own mother-in-law loved it when she went
Yeah.
there as well. So you're keeping that alive. and
Well,
you
it's
have to-
timeless, and it's getting lost in the world of technology.
Yes, it is.
It's getting, all of it's fading and eroding, and yet it comes alive when they walk in the door. I've had many adults. I have, at times, extended courtesies to have adult tours because, with the children visiting Santa Claus, it gets quite lengthy. We've had as much as 3,200 people on 1-2 weekends come through the place. So I have extended adult tours. I'd be willing to do that again before I take it down, because this is the last hurrah. It comes down this year. It becomes a full-time historical museum.
No, I feel privileged to have you here to talk about this. This must be a time where you have mixed feelings and emotions.
Very deep.
But we're very proud of you. I want to ask you about this ornament, which I've seen only once before, and it is stunning, beautiful. Maybe show it to the camera, this camera here, and talk about it.
Well, I've been in the village just about 40 years. What do I say about it? It is the row house. It was known as the Drowned Meadow house. It's just recently been documented in the historical background to be called the row house. 7 years ago I started with the workshop, and 5 years have been in this precious little building. I wanted to design an ornament that would be annual in our village, and from what I understand, there aren't any other villages that have a privilege to have an ornament with such a beautiful little building as this. So the Santa's workshop sign is no longer a part of it. This is a design that will be sold, marketed every year in our village annually as a Christmas ornament for the village that I love. I've been servicing it on many levels and committees and whatever through the years, and more recently in the last couple of years I stepped into just doing creative things. This is my passion, and this is my farewell, my gift to the village. Hestia up in Marblehead, Massachusetts is where we have them made.
Mm-hmm.
Each one is hand painted, and we've had a tremendous response to this ornament.
Where will someone be able to get this Dickens weekend?
Dickens weekend is going to be available at the Village Center here in Port Jefferson. There's a few merchants that are going to have it. Offhand, we're still deciding on that. Sea Creations for sure is going to market it, and some of the smaller merchants who I want to contribute, that they have a chance
And
to.
you know what? Maybe
But
we'll
it
have-
will be in our village.
Maybe we'll put 10 or 20 here at the studio.
Well, that would be very nice.
You know, if
I'd
you
be
have
happy
them,
to.
you're going to sell out on these too. It's
Yeah.
it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to just show some detail here
Sure.
of.
It comes with a stand.
Yes, you should
It's
show.
beautifully boxed in a black velvet lined stand with a gold base.
And the
it's-
top, we have a loop if you want to hang it from the
Yes,
top.
you can. It comes with a ribbon.
Okay.
I took the ribbon off it because I encourage it on the stand as a very personalized gift, as a hostess gift.
But
or
I tell you
something
what,
meaningful.
when I did a lot of traveling with the kids, I went to Key West, I went to different parts of the country.
Yeah,
People do like to hang it from the tree.
yeah. Well,
Right.
you can do
Yeah,
that.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, we have a lot of pride in this village. We've been very blessed. We've had, oh my goodness, the vision of Jean Garant is when I stepped into the village, and she's the former mayor that I've had a 38-year relationship with, and now her daughter, who's been in her position as mayor going into the 7th term, over 14 years, is still motivating and changing and evolving, and it was her that motivated me to do this.
Good.
We have a lot of people coming up now, a lot of young families. I encourage them to do what I've done. Make it a passion, love your village, and contribute. And that's what I've done for love of village.
Give us some of your best memories of this season that we call really the season of the holiday season, the Christmas season, the Thanksgiving season, the Hanukkah season, that entire season, which I pretty much demarked from November 15th till even the, January. What are some of the special memories you have in Port Jeff Village? I'm sure you have a lot, but.
Oh my goodness, there's so many memories. There's always activities. They're very personalized. I think my greatest memory is when Jean Garant, when she was mayor at the time, had a vision for the village center. And we went to the top of an old rusty staircase. No walls. The mobile gas property was still very much in question. But she had a vision, and we stood up there on a very blustery, windy day. And it was just a set of staircase and a metal frame. And she had a vision. And I think that's my greatest memory because there was a great deal of challenge, a great deal of lots of grants. We have a wonderful grant writer in our village, Nicole Christian, who has been very instrumental working with our mayors to get the grants that have afforded us a lot. And one of the things I think we're very exceptional with what we offer the children in our village. the Rocket Ship Park is very, very significant. People come from all over to enjoy our village, and that's primarily one of the big things. That and our village center with the ice skating, the roller skating, and of course we've got a wonderful shopping area. The merchants, we've got a lot of eclectic differences in our
Something for everyone.
merchants.
Absolutely.
But that's, to me, the most important thing. The vision, and I grew with the vision. I was motivated by the vision. And coming from a marketing background before I got involved with the artistic side, which this village motivated me to do. But there's something for everyone in this village. We have a very beautiful country club, 18-hole golf course, ice skating rink. And, you know, I've never been sorry that I'm here.
Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from West Islip.
You're kidding.
West Islip, South Shore.
Yep.
I was a South Shore girl. My claim to fame was I was a Fire Island girl. Many, many
Great
years
place.
on Fire Island, yeah. But I found my beacon was here through Jean Garant 38 years ago.
Goes fast, doesn't it?
Too fast. I got the wrinkles and the frustrations to prove it.
You look great, Pat.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for your service to the village and this beautiful idea.
I just would like to show you this.
Sure.
This is the Gamecock Cottage.
You can also pick this up and show it.
Okay. Stony Brook, Brookhaven, I was just informed, this is a darling, darling. This little cottage, I believe it was 1700s. It was built by a gentleman who wanted to have it available for honeymoon couples. And it's gone through a lot of transition. I know Stony Brook had completely refurbished it. It weathered down. Well, I just was informed by the historian of Brookhaven they are going to invest a great deal to restore it. This is my confection piece. I replicate buildings. I've at one point had several different business people ask me to do different buildings. This is the actual building. This is my replicating it in confection art. It was one of the more challenging because of all the gingerbread trims.
Yeah, that's like clapboard, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's my passion.
I know.
I'm a romantic, and this was created for people to go for honeymoons. And I'm so happy to know that they're going to refurbish it because artists come from all over to paint it. And it's had a lot of interest over the years. And fortunately, Brookhaven has noticed that interest, and they're refurbishing it because when they took over the cottages on Brookhaven Beach?
Yes.
They kind of forgot this existed, and it weathered down to nothing, and now they're going to invest in refurbishing it so it'll look like that again
Beautiful.
and have a new face.
Beautiful. You know, you have some fans in the audience here looking upon you. They're very proud of you. And I know Bill is a big part of your life because he's your husband, but I think he's your partner.
Well, no, I'm proud of him for a lot more than being my husband. Do you ever hear the expression l'autre femme, the other woman?
No.
Oh, well, the Stony Brook Yacht Club is the other woman in my life. My husband created the task force in 1993 with Nora Bradis, worked very diligently with Vivian Valora Fisher, and more recently with Cara Hahn, I believe her name is. And he's still active. My husband's now 88 years old. We've been together almost 40 years, and he has his own contributions, and he has the passion for Stony Brook that I've had for Port Jefferson.
Very nice.
And he's accomplished a great deal. He's a retired principal, and I'm very proud to share my life and life's journey with him.
Shout out to Bill, your biggest supporter, besides me.
Oh, thank you.
Or in addition to.
That's a compliment.
In
I'll
addition
take
to.
that, Kevin, for sure. Yeah, he's been very supportive.
Pat,
So-
you look great. You sound great. You
Thank
seem
you.
like you've got many, many years left to go. So find
I
something
don't
you
know
love
about
again and get going. All right?
I have something in mind. Thomas Kincaid, the painter of light, there's a little story about it. It's called The Christmas Cottage. And I'm seriously thinking of turning my home into a year-round Christmas something.
Why not?
Because I love it. I love the intimacy of it.
Year round.
And a lot has been gotten, it's getting lost with all the technology today.
Mhm.
So I might just shift it all over there in my upstairs.
One door closes and you know the
Another
same.
door opens.
And probably three in your case.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
this I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That was done with great passion and love, and I love the building, and I wish them great success. And it's pretty prestigious that we have a darling little building that's now going to become something very monumental in history.
A darling.
And there,
Little
let me
building.
just say this: Rob Sisler was the historian when I got involved with the building. He loved it so, and he so wanted this to happen. So I know in the news, the record mentioned that Rob Sisler was the historian that had the vision.
Excellent. So once again, at the bottom of the screen, we will put the opening days and times for Santa's Workshop, starting with the parade this Sunday, which you will be seeing this video by Sunday. Now you're putting pedal to the metal here. And we will follow Pat, and I thank you again for coming. It's always a pleasure. You look great, and you've got a lot of passion. Keep it up.
I feel very flattered that you show the interest in what I do.
It's my pleasure.
I thank you.
You're welcome.